Hi, this is Samina Sheikh here, and with me today I have the OTT queen Ravina Tandon. Join me as I welcome her on Zoom. I think that's the right introduction I should be giving you, that apart from films, you're also ruling the charts on OTT.
Thank you so much. It's really kind of you. Yes, it's been a great debut with Aranyak. Thankfully, you all also gave me a great award, and all the awards that I got for Aranyak as Best Actress in that year. And now it's been all the way karma calling. And as you know, maybe it's my karma and maybe it's yours that we are both calling each other and meeting each other as well. So it's been a great response to karma calling too. And like you rightly said, so far it looks like we are ruling the charts.
You always get appreciated, and how do you manage that for years? Every time you have impressed with your acting skills.
I think what is mostly required for anyone to do anything with is with 100% and with all sincerity. So, automatically, when you believe in something and that you're capable of doing, you have to believe in it first to make the other person believe. And once that happens, I think the effort kind of just reaches through to the audience that these guys have really worked hard.
And also, Ravina ma'am, I have to ask you this, that over the years, we have always seen women just being there, playing a role, or say some roles where they have been like sidelined, or some roles which are not specific as such, dedicated to them. But now, as we see the world evolving and the OTT taking place, and people and women doing a lot of roles, do you feel that now is the right time to be there out there completely?
I think it is definitely because it's been a great time for all actors. I won't only say female actors. I think all actors because OTT gives you space to breathe. To be very honest, filmmakers sometimes in cinema are restrained with the constraints that they have of encapsulating everything that they want to say in that 2 or 2.5 hours, cannot go beyond that. Then the pressures of trying to do everything because there is the Friday box office pressure and the week after the collections, etc. Over here I believe that every story that is told on OTT has a certain niche audience. So there you're a little relaxed. Okay, I know that there is no pressure of the box office here. Yes, numbers do matter, but it will find its audience at some point. And I think that is a great thing because it gives more freedom to filmmakers to be able to make what they believe in and what they do.
Talking about your work, over the years, we have seen you being selective of what you choose. It's not like, anyone can approach you with any script and you say a yes to them only because you share an equation, but you see something reality to it. One such example was also, when you recently said that you let go of 4 projects with Shah Rukh Khan and also of Shaya Shaya song. If you could elaborate on that, and when you make choices, do you sometimes, as because you share such good friendship with everyone, do you sometimes feel like they might get hurt, but it's okay, it's eventually for your career?
First and foremost, let me clarify. I did not let go 4 projects with Shah Rukh. I will not let go anything. I will cling on to them as much as I can. Unfortunately for us, that we did sign 4 films together, but something or the other went wrong with it. One did release, Zamana Divana, but it took little time to be made. Another one that we had done was called Jadoo. It had the most amazing music, and it unfortunately got shelved because the director passed away. The writer and director of the film passed away. So that was tragic. And the other one, we mutually decided between the director and me because the director had certain, that was the third one, had certain visuals for the costume which I was not comfortable wearing. I had already signed the film. Please, you think my rightest mind I'll say no to films with Shah Rukh? I mean, that is impossible. He's one of my favorites. And in fact, one of the media houses quoted also, Ravina rejected. I said, excuse me, एक पिक्चर शेल्व होने में और रिजेक्ट होने में बहुत अंतर है भाई, क्यों झगड़े लगा रहे हो?
And also the fourth one I think was Dar, if I'm not wrong. That was also
Yeah,
there in
yeah.
the pipeline.
Yeah.
So it's not she has rejected. You have got the answer. We always like, sometimes we also get carried away with
Yeah.
what we read. Rumors ke hisab
And
se.
I clearly said got shelved, but the headlines nowadays everyone knows all headlines are for clickbait. So we understand that clickbait system that's going on these days, but unfortunately it goes across wrong to people. But this is unfortunately what happened, and I'm still waiting to work with him.
How's the social media game for you working? Like working in your favor or against you?
I think it's fantastic to have that one-on-one with the audience. Yes, there is some amount of uncontrollable, social media out there where there are some outlets which cannot be traced, which are anonymous, which just, kind of just say anything. So, but I think that media houses and people should not pay attention to trolls. Unfortunately, again, getting back to the clickbait thing, I see a lot of media houses picking up statements from trolls and highlighting them. That, oh, such and such artist got trolled by them saying this nasty thing. And then they print the nasty thing. So that makes you equal, to the troll as well, because that person is anonymous and is just saying things out of whatever reasons. So I think that trend should kind of be taken care of. Otherwise, the rest, I think trolls are not something one should really pay attention to. You, as long as you are hardworking, you're sincere to your work, you just focus on that. The rest, everyone can keep saying what they want.
Talking about your work, ma'am, you're also doing an amazing role as a lawyer in Patna Shukla, and which gets me excited because I always feel like I argue the most with my mother, at least, at least with her, if not with anyone else. But I have to ask you about it. It's women oriented. It's a very strong role which you're playing. So tell me about it.
So, as you know, Women's Day has just gone by, and we all celebrated Women's Day, and we celebrate every, I think you see organizations, associations that they felicitate, all women achievers on Women's Day. But I believe that women should be felicitated honestly every day, because I believe the Indian woman is one of the strongest. She looks after her family, she looks after her work, and she puts in 100% in everything that she does. She's actually a multitasker. So Patna Shukla is something like that. It talks about this one simple woman till the time she actually finds her inner strength to fight for justice in this world. And that is what Patna Shukla is all about. And I think a lot of women will identify with her issues, her problems, her day-to-day life, and the fact that each one of us has a heroine somewhere within. And we just have to recognize that inner strength that we have to be able to make a slight difference also, if we can, in our own ways to this world. I do believe that women are especially even more hardworking in any given sphere of any career that you pick up or any field of work that you pick up, is just working doubly harder to prove themselves. And like you rightfully said, that it is they sometimes still don't get a hold of what they really want, because a lot of times they are kind of held back by a lot more that expected out of them. They expected to look after their homes, they expected to look after their children, they expected to do the homework with the children, they expected to cook, they expected to wash, they expected to see that the children's uniforms are also ready in the morning, they expected to send their husbands and children off to work, and then they go to their work. Then they expected to even achieve and excel in their work and not lag. If there's a problem with a child or if there's a school thing, it'll be the mother who'll be running, even if she's going to office. So a lot of this multitasking is mostly expected from women. I personally think, like I said, it's my opinion, give this to any man to do for one day and they'll have fallen flat. And I don't think so. They'll be able to achieve it.
But also, do you feel that, often women are, also judged for certain things? So, for example, if I'm in an XYZ field, even acting or as an actress or a journalist or anyone who is trying to have a bold role in the society, they're often slut-shamed, they are age-shamed, they are treated differently also, or they say that it's difficult to deal with them. Have you ever heard such comments when you have been you started your journey as an actress, and when you have been vocal about whatever you felt like saying?
Again, I'll come to the basic thing. I think somewhere the media is responsible. See, because we don't have a one-to-one thing with audiences unless you're on your social media. But when these same things, the captions that you're giving, become headlines, then you wonder that why don't they say the same to your male counterparts or your male colleagues? But why are we women picked up to hear these comments? So that is something which I have always kind of, spoken up for, because I do believe that a lot of my male co-stars who are still working today are still relevant today, and they're still doing lead roles. But so are we women. But still, there are times when you'll walk into a show or you'll walk in, they'll say, oh, 90s ki adakara, 90s ki superstar. But I'm still relevant, I'm still working. My entire batch is still working of us girls. There's Karishma, there's Tabu, there's Madhuri ji, though senior being, there's Manisha, there's everybody, all of us. We're still out there and we're still working. There's Sushmita. So why is always only information about the 90s asked from us? Why is it not asked from the guys also who are still working, who were with us in our batch? So that's when sometimes I do feel a disparity of women being treated not in the same bar. But I think a lot has changed, and a lot has become much, much better than what it used to be.
Also, as we say that, a lot has changed, do you also feel that maybe there is one thing which needs to still change, which is about the gender pay parity, the disparity over there?
I think yes, that definitely. But again, like I said, there's a lot of awareness. Even now in our film industry, there's a lot of women in the workforce. We see a lot of, DOPs. That is, it's DOP means director of photography. There are camera guys, camera women, and so there is assistants, there are ADs, there are music directors, there are editors who are women. In fact, Karma Calling actually has quite a lot of women crew. Patna Shukla was shot. My DOP was a woman, which was such a pleasure doing with her. Then even in Karma Calling, the director was Ruchi Narayan. The editor was a woman. So I think there's a lot that is where you see a lot of executives today, a lot of OTT platform heads, a lot of so I think somewhere what I'm trying to say is that women in the workforce make a difference. And then that little equality thing starts coming in. You start pushing that envelope towards that. So we need actually much, much more women in the workforce to make it completely equal.
Talking about your work, you have now recently also collaborated with Sanjay Dutt, with Akshay Kumar, and after a very long time, we would be seeing you working with Akshay, and Welcome 3 is going to happen soon. How did the collaboration happen, and what do you have to say about it?
There's no collaboration. I'm very happy doing Gurchadi is coming in. Patna Shukla is there. So these are great films to be looking forward to. They'll be my next review.
But coming back to, as I speak about women-oriented, films and work, there's one thing, if you had to change in the industry, specifically for female actresses, what would that be?
Well, I honestly think if I would want to change anything, I don't know. I think even female actresses should be in every movie given heroic entries, like how they work on the hero. So I love those smashing high-speed shot for women, making these, kind of fantastic dhamakedar entries. I think that is one thing that should happen. Though the role given to us, I think we all do full justice to it. But even then, we should also be given those kind of dhamakedar entries, हम भी बाइक पे ऐसे खड़े होके झंडा वंडा लेके एंटर करेंगे, वो भी मजा आएगा.
But I think that your entry when you did your OTT debut was amazing. So I think somewhere you have done that already. Talking about the female figures you see in Bollywood, who's been your personal favorite, and someone who's inspired you, be it from yesteryears or from today, someone who's inspired you?
I think my two favorites who were always and will always be were Wahida Rehman ji, Wahida Rehman ji, and Madhubala ji. Madhubala ji for her most beauteous presence and the fact that she was such a splendid actress. But unfortunately, I feel at that time also people never saw beyond her beauty. But I feel she was one of the most natural actresses that we had. And then, of course, Wahida ji. For me, Wahida ji is a legend. I love her. I just look at her and go into an awestruck situation. So, and yes, of course, when I was young, I used to love Helen Auntie's, all her songs. And I think this whole thing of being experimenting with different looks and different costumes and different hairstyles, I think I've kind of, somewhere in my mind, been inspired by Helen Auntie. Because if you see her, every song, her every look, her every costume was used to be like something else. And she used to experiment with different things. I think she was one of the first to ever wear lenses and all in movies, which I don't know how in those days lenses must be. Now they are so easily puttable and stuff, but she used to wear all that in those days. I mean, hats off to her.
And as we talk about costume, that reminds me of one of the very interesting question which I penned down, which was about you still having your Kisi Disco Mein Jaye outfit.
Yes.
Yes. So, what all belongings have you kept with you?
So mostly I'll share something. Most of the time I used to be wearing my own personal clothes because I would not like the little over the top kind of costumes that some of the designers would come up with, all that shiny stuff, and I used to hate. So if you've seen, I don't know, even the Kahin Disco Mein Jaye I'm just doing in jeans, so I would most of the time wear my own clothes. So those have still remained with me, and yes, I'm proud to say I still fit into them. So it's like I'm still wearing my 90s ka jeans, and everything has come back again, which is I think so fantastic because I'm wearing them all over again. So I would be wearing a lot of my personal stuff. So all my sunglasses used to be mine. So what I would carry on the shoot or something I used to wear in a song, or I would just push it back. A lot of those flowing coats used to be mine. Jeans used to be mine. My leather, faux leather shirts and everything. I don't wear real leather. So all my faux leather shirts and stuff. I used to wear a lot of my own personal things.
Wow,
Yeah, so those are still with me.
And if you had to bring back any of these outfits in any of your movies, which one would that be?
I don't know. I think they're all back. Actually, they're all back. But everyone's still again wearing those same leather pants and those same kind of high-waisted, loose jeans what I wore in Kisi Disco Mein Jaye. In Sher Ki Ladki, I wore those leather tie-up shirt with leather-fitted jeans, leather-fitted pants. Everyone's still wearing that. So the 90s is back, and as I can see, you are wearing hoops, my girl. Guess who brought them?
90s. Of course, and it still stays. It doesn't go. I have to say nothing about it. As we also talk about the 90s and about how you have evolved, very interesting question is, you have always been close to nature, and you have recently been a part of the One Bhushan Award.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So this is, yes, I'm on the jury of the One Bhushan Award, and I think this is a great award that has been started by the government of Maharashtra and our forest minister, Shri Sudhir Mungatiwarji. And I think it's great to honor all those people, all those unsung heroes who have been fighting for our planet, who've been fighting for our environment, who've been fighting for our wildlife. And they've done so much work, but unfortunately they kind of go unnoticed. So this is our way of honoring them and appreciating them so that we can give a greener, healthier, safer and a planet which has kept its wildlife intact for our future generations.
Well, on that note, I end this conversation with you, but it was lovely chatting with you.
Always.
And salute to you always for your work. Always looking forward to see you on screen, and always like a kid, always want to see you perform, always, whenever you're on screen. Lovely chatting with you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure with you, Samira.